BookTube is at its absolute best right now. It just keeps getting better and better. So in this book break video, I wanted to celebrate some of the coolest things I've seen on BookTube recently. And I've been watching BookTube for years, and it's so cool to see quite how much it's changed. So in the early years of BookTube, the most popular things were single book reviews, and you barely see those at all these days. If anything, you might see them in a reading vlog, seeing someone's experience of reading a book, but they're still pretty rare. The other things that were really popular back in the early days were challenges and tags, which then kind of faded away but have now come back into fashion. So you're seeing way more of those, which is really fun and nostalgic. We actually did a challenge video on Book Break recently, which I will link to in the description box below. So there are some things that are familiar, but BookTube is this really exciting place right now with people just coming out with more and more creative ideas. So I wanted to talk about some of my favourite BookTube trends at the moment. So one area that's getting really experimental at the moment is Readathons. I don't know what the first Readathon was, but one of the biggest early Readathons was Booktuber, which is now called the Reading Rush, and is still going strong, getting bigger and better every year. But there are so many new Readathons springing up at the moment, and what I love is seeing people who've taken them beyond just being a list of prompts to work through and actually into a kind of game format. So Rachel Marie, for example, came up with the Bookie Trials, which is this quest, and she divides everybody into teams and you're competing against each other. So as well as having prompts there, you actually work your way through a map over the course of the month that the readathon lasts. So that's really cool. Book Roast does a Harry Potter themed magical readathon. We made a video recently talking about the owls, which I will link to, but this one is based on the Owls and Newts wizarding exams. And so for 2 months of the year, you sit your exams. Each exam has a different book prompt that you have to read to complete that qualification. And then Book Roast has actually created this careers guide. So you have to take certain exams to qualify for different wizarding careers. And then there's Simsathon, which is hosted by Bianca Reads with various co-hosts each time. And this one is based on The Sims game and its various expansion packs. So for this one, reading different books is equivalent to completing various life stages in The Sims, and you can work your way up the career ladder. It's really, really clever, and there's a whole point system so you can see at the end of the month how well you did. They're all amazing. I will link below to everything I mentioned in this video, so do go check them out. Then the next massive BookTube trend is reading vlogs, where somebody films their experience of reading a particular book or a series of books, or just everything they read over a certain period of time. And reading vlogs, I don't think were really a thing in the early days of BookTube, but now they are massive. It seems like almost half of the BookTube videos I see are now reading vlogs. So recently I've been absolutely loving Lauren and the Books, does these great vlogs of her cozy reading nights, which make you feel really cozy and snuggly. Emma Tobias vlogs for the Reading Rush, and I loved what she did of picking a kind of different aesthetic every day and theming her vlog around that. And even Hannah Witten did a reading vlog recently that was just showing what she read over a 4-day period. So these vlogs don't have to be themed a certain way. It can just be a way of feeling like you've spent time with somebody and watched what their reading routine is like, as well as getting a little glimpse into their personal life. But then a subgenre of reading vlogs are secret TBR vlogs. So the queen of these is Books and Lala. I think she invented them, she definitely popularised them. And this is where she will spend a month reading books on a certain theme. So it might be reading books recommended for her star sign, or it might be rereading her favourite books from 5th grade. And then at the end of the month, she will upload this video showing what she's been doing. And what's really fun along the way is that she will often post pictures to Instagram showing some of the books she's reading and let people try and guess what the secret theme is. So Books and Lala may be the queen of these, but they are now another massive subgenre on BookTube. So many people do videos like these, and they're always so exciting to watch. And Gabby Reads actually did one recently where she read Books and Lala's favourite books, and she vlogged the whole thing and then revealed at the end what she thought of them. So those are the secret TBR videos, but TBR games is also another massive trend on BookTube, and this is where people come up with really creative ways to pick what they're going to read next. So Becca and the Books, for example, created Bookopoly, which is her own customised Monopoly board that she works around, and it chooses which books she's going to read next. And then Cody's Book Corner has the wheel of TBR that she spins every month to help her decide what to read. Rachel Marie does Rachel's Realm, which is this whole kind of fantasy inspired map, and she pulls different tokens out of a bag which have different book challenges on there. Bowties and Books has Jessie's deck of TBR. They actually printed a whole custom pack of cards, and the cards have different TBR challenges. People just get so inventive with these. And I think both the secret TBR videos and the TBR games have really encouraged booktubers recently to read books outside their comfort zones, because they set themselves these challenges. So that's the next trend that I wanted to mention, is people deliberately picking up books they otherwise wouldn't have read. So Meg with Books has this series where she reads my first ever thriller or my first ever graphic novel, and she's actually discovered new 5-star books from doing these. There's even an out of my comfort zone book tag going around. And I think because of this trend for booktubers stretching the genres that they read, we now get a lot of content encouraging us to pick up books outside our comfort zone as well. So Jean recently did a video that was recommending a book from every genre that had over 50 book recommendations in one video. Books and Lala did one quite recently that was, if you like this YA book, you'll like this thriller. Harriet Rosie did one that was recommending short story collections based on novels you like. Overall, BookTube is just becoming increasingly open to readers of all genres, which is so exciting. Now, another trend that has sprung up from BookTube, having been around for quite a while now, is reaction videos. So this is where people react to old videos of theirs, maybe react to their first ever haul, or react to their first TBR and see, did I actually ever read those books? A really popular reaction series a few years ago was Books and Lala's Closet Unhaul. So this is where she would react to a book haul video from a few years before, and she then had to read all of the books from the haul that month or give them away. And another really popular one you'll see on quite a few channels is Mercy's Bookish Musings started this 5-star predictions trend where she talked about the books that she predicted she was going to love from her TBR. So lots of people did this and then started reacting to their 5-star predictions once they'd read all the books to see if they were right or not. A general trend on YouTube, not just limited to BookTube, is that videos are getting longer and longer. It used to be that you wanted to keep your videos pretty short and sharp, and now people tend to want to settle in and watch YouTube more like it's television. So you get these really long reading vlogs where you get to spend a long time with the person. But it's also opened up room for really in-depth analysis videos. So Murphy Napier, for example, is great at these. She has a whole Harry Potter series on her channel where she dissects the books, and she uploaded a video recently that was almost a whole hour long talking about Severus Snape and whether he is a good or bad character. But new trends pop up all the time. So a massive one recently was recreating book covers as outfits, which was so cool. So Sasha Alsberg did this one, Boston Reads Books did it, Katie Ruby did it. There were loads of them and they were so cool and so visually exciting to watch. But honestly, booktubers are just getting more and more inventive every day. So some of the coolest things I've seen recently, Chandler Ainsley uploaded a reading vlog that was a choose your own adventure style vlog. So it was up to the viewer to predict which of the two books she was going to read she would like best, and then you chose which video to read based on your prediction, which led you down this whole path. If you guessed wrong, you reach the end of the road. If you guessed right, it unlocks a whole new video for you. That was amazing. I've never seen anything like that before. And Read by Jess is doing these BookTube murder mystery live shows where loads of booktubers come together in character, and the viewers can then ask them questions through the chat and investigate and try and guess which one of them committed a murder. In conclusion, like I said at the beginning, BookTube is just the best it's ever been. So I'd love to know who are your favourite creators right now, what's some of the coolest content you've seen. Do leave a comment and let us know because I'd love to check it out. And while we're celebrating other amazing booktubers, we have a whole playlist here of all the times we've collaborated with other YouTubers. So I will link to that so you can have a browse through. See you next time.